Right?
Oh!
The warm-up act is over. Let's bring in Melissa Etheridge, massive Chiefs fan. Melissa.
Super Bowl champion, two-time Pro Bowler, and Trent Green. Trent Green, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
And he picked it up! He picked it up! He's gonna score! And we'll see you next week. But until then, as always, go Chiefs.
Welcome to the Arrowhead Addict halftime show, and this is a good old-fashioned ass whooping. Chiefs over the Bears, 34-0 at halftime. This is absurd. I knew the Bears were bad. I didn't know that they were this bad. Joe, how are you?
I was doing a lot better until about 2 minutes ago when Mahomes' ankle got rolled up on. I'm pretty terrified, but after watching all the effort that he puts into his ankle on quarterback on Netflix and him staying out there, I'm cautiously optimistic. But outside of that, what a fucking beat down! The Chiefs team total at DraftKings was 31.5 points. We have 34 in the first half. Mahomes is balling. The defense looks incredible. Chris Jones with another sack. This is as picturesque as it could possibly be. What a perfect first half performance.
I want to say with the ankle, I see everyone, Gary 8 says Mahomes ankle watch. Impressive vision. This is pretty funny. He says every defensive motto against the Chiefs. If you get the chance, roll up a Mahomes ankle. I will say, I don't think there was any malice behind what happened there. I think it was unfortunate. I don't think the Bears were necessarily trying to get Mahomes' ankle. It's just a bad situation, one that should have never happened. Juwan Taylor got called for his second illegal formation, lining up too far back at right tackle in this game. First one looked legit, but I will say this, that second one, he sure looked in line. Maybe I'm wrong and maybe the angle was off, but that second one against Juwan Taylor sure looked like he was in the right spot. That one that MVS caught a touchdown pass on. I don't know your thoughts here if this was a situation where even if he's close, the refs are going to call it, because in my personal opinion, Juwan Taylor was actually lined up correctly there.
I agree with you. I thought that he was lined up correctly as well. And it seems like, especially after the microscope that was put on him or in week one, that they're looking for it. And it seems so ticky-tack as to when they're going to call it, because he's very, very consistent in what he does every single play, and whether they call it or not. And my fingers just crossed that they don't call it in a huge spot. Luckily, this one doesn't matter whatsoever. The offensive line has performed as a whole fantastic today. Pacheco, 10 for 50 and a tutty already. McKinnon looking good at the backfield. The Mahomes ankle notwithstanding, the offensive line has performed really, really well today. You could not ask for a better first half, and I appreciate you. I know that you're watching at halftime in your suite, Taylor Swift. Thank you for the good vibes that you have brought to Kansas City. We very, very appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing what Trav does in the second half.
I feel bad for Rashee Rice, 2 times getting stopped on the 1 yard line, but he's looked pretty good on those little stick routes, if you will, finding the soft spot in the zone, turning around, catching it, going for 8-9 yards a pop. What I will say with Rashee Rice is a man who has the over 40 yards with Rashee Rice. He's there stuck at 39. Those 2 of him getting stuck on the 1 yard line. Not feeling pretty good for myself because I don't know how much they're going to throw the ball in the second half. But if you guys want to hit your bets, if you guys like betting, obviously Joe Summers over here must be hitting his bets as he's rocking those John Lennon sunglasses inside. DraftKings has upped their sign-up offer to kick off football season. New users can place a $5 first bet to instantly claim $200 in bonus bets plus a $150 back in bonus bets if your team loses. All you have to do is sign up with our code Arrowhead. Using our code Arrowhead not only gets you these great bonuses, but it also directly supports our podcast. So make sure you go to DraftKings, use code Arrowhead. This offer is only available to new customers who are 21 21 plus and physically present in legal gambling states. Please remember to always gamble responsibly. Check the episode description for the full terms of the offer to see if you qualify. I want to give a shout out to Raymond Chandler for the super chat. Raymond always appreciates you. Says they're watching him, Juwan Taylor, more than the rest of the league. I'm with you, man, because I do think Juwan Taylor in that second one specifically was lined up okay. I'm seeing some people in the chat asking about Patrick Mahomes. From what I could tell, he seems okay. He came back out, right? He still threw a couple of nice passes. What I will say is we're probably going to see some Blaine Gabbert at some point in this second half. Let me ask you here, Joe. Were you surprised the Chiefs were so aggressive? Andy Reid, known for taking his foot off of the gas a little early, obviously a former Chief, at least in the organization. Ryan Poles, Bears GM. I wasn't surprised necessarily they tried to get into field goal range there, but part of me thought, you know what? They're up 31-0. I wouldn't have been shocked if they would have kneeled it and gone to half. What are your thoughts here?
I wouldn't have been shocked, but this is a get-right game for the Chiefs. The first couple weeks offensively in particular have been disappointing, and this is just the perfect storm of us saying, no, we are the best team in the league. I mean, look at Miami putting up a 70 spot on Los Angeles. Like, at some point, if your offense is rolling and you're feeling rhythm, it's okay to go with the flow. And the Chiefs, after putting up a disappointing first couple of weeks, to be able to come out here and put up 34 points in the first half, it just shows everyone that the offense is good. Nagy revenge game, Mahomes revenge game for the Trubisky draft pick. And I wasn't surprised. I do think that we'll take our foot off the gas a little bit in the second half, though, especially given Mahomes' injury. And fingers crossed that we see Blaine Gabbert. Your boy.
that football right there, baby, Blaine Gabbert. Before I switch gears and talk about the defense with you, I do want to give a massive shout out to the offensive line outside of the illegal formation penalties, because they've been great. Mahomes has had all day back there. He can make a Subway sandwich, right? Those preferred Subway sandwiches. He can go back there behind and get whatever toppings you want. He's making that because he has all day in the pocket, dropping the ball into the bucket. That throw to Justin Watson was incredible. Again, got to give a shout out to the offensive line as a whole. Now, let's switch gears and talk about the defense. 0 points. I don't care how bad of a team you are. Arizona scored 21 points already against the Dallas Cowboys defense. Right? I don't care. The NFL is any given Sunday. I don't care if you're a bad offense. I don't care if you're a bad team. These are still NFL players. This is not FCS football. These are NFL athletes trying to make a name for themselves, right? 0 points from the defense. Spags has been great. Defensive line's been great. Chris Jones, outstanding. L'Jarius Sneed has been traveling, right? L'Jarius Sneed has been traveling with DJ Moore. I've been very impressed. What are your thoughts on the Chiefs defense?
That it is the best I can remember seeing it in my adult life. My biggest takeaway from the first half was that Trent McDuffie is a certified stud. He is playing at an all-pro level, forcing that fumble. He's making really, really good contact at the ball. Excellent tackler. His coverage has been excellent. I mean, you look at DJ Moore, he dropped that one deep pass, but to hold in consecutive weeks, Calvin Ridley to 2 catches and then DJ Moore to a goose egg in the first half is extremely impressive. McDuffie is a stud. And to be able to see him and Chris Jones, Karlaftis, another half sack, he looks legit. Like, this defense can get after the ball. And especially considering we don't have Nick Bolton in the lineup today, to see the performance that they're putting forth is extremely encouraging, and it makes me want to load up on Chiefs futures even more than I already have.
Well, yeah, and Drew Tranquill, this is why they brought him in the offseason, because he is the emergency green dot when Nick Bolton is either injured or off the field on some third downs. We know Nick Bolton's one negative, if he has one. He is fine in pass coverage as a linebacker, but he's not this electric guy. Top 15, according to PFF last year in pass coverage, was Drew Tranquill. You've seen what he can do, what he brings to the table, not only in pass coverage, but being as a spy on the very mobile Justin Fields. I've just been very impressed as a whole. As you mentioned, the cornerbacks, got to give Joshua Williams his flowers as well. Very nice play on Chase Claypool, a bigger bodied wide receiver getting his hand in there. We do want to give a shout out to Daniel. Thank you so much, Daniel, for the super chat saying, trying to outscore Miami halfway to 71. You know, the Chiefs saw what Tyreek Hill, Tua Tagovailoa, and quite frankly, Mike White getting into the action with a 60-yard touchdown pass. Chiefs said, hey, guess what? We can do this too. We can go 71.
Well, and I misspoke earlier when I said Miami put a 70 spot on Los Angeles. I'm in Denver, but if you were trying to concoct a perfect painting of what today could possibly look like for Chiefs fans, you would have after our loss a couple weeks ago, you would have us controlling our destiny for the 1 seed in the AFC. You would have the defense looking excellent. You would have Mahomes and the offense breaking out of the slump. All of those boxes are checked today. Miami's the only undefeated team left in the AFC, and we get to play them. So we control our destiny. Our division looks like a mess, honestly, and everything is turning up Kansas City right now, provided the Mahomes ankle is okay. It's great to see Travis Kelce more involved in the offense and see him looking healthy and spry. And if this defense continues it, and I mean, we don't really play a good offense again until the Chargers here in a few weeks. But other than that, our defense is probably going to be ranked in the top 3 to top 5 range, depending on what statistics you're looking at. I'm thinking Super Bowl again, baby.
Yeah. If the defense plays like this, if Spags coaches like this, first off, Spags getting a head coaching job, right? I mean, this is just an incredible performance from what he's doing. But Chris Jones out here trying to make up for lost time, missing that one game. He sees those incentives and says, guess what? Maybe I will try and get Defensive Player of the Year. No or in that contract, by the way. It was and Defensive Player of the Year and winning the Super Bowl. Chris Jones trying to make that happen. I see a chat from Tungsten says, Sterling, I have a bone to pick with you. You didn't like my Taylor Swift tweet. Hell, the others liked it, but you ignored me.
You're a hater.
I didn't see it, dude. I didn't see it. I'm not going to lie. That stuff, I don't care. Whatever people's personal life is, that's for them. But if Taylor Swift comes, the Chiefs play like this, I guess you have to keep inviting her back before we come back and we go and watch the game. What is the final score of this game, Joe?
Well, so the live line over at DraftKings right now is 36.5 points. I think that we are going to put up at least 2 more touchdowns. I'm 51-7. I'm going to give the Bears 1 tutty. 51-7.
I will say it looks like the Bears maybe should have kept on to Mitchell Trubisky as well as Coach of the Year, Matt Nagy, a guy who took him to the playoffs 2 different times. But apparently Matt Nagy wasn't good enough with that 34-31 record. Had to can him to bring in Eberflus because, yeah, they're in a great spot now. Chiefs are in a great spot, up 34-0. We'll check you guys out after the entire game. We'll be back for the post-game show. Verderam will be here. Probably not a lot of Verderants. I don't know what we call Verderam when he's happy. It's going to be a very weird experience seeing Verderam happy. So stay tuned for that. Until the post-game show, go Chiefs.